There was a time in my life that my favorite of the big three classes, namely Rogue, Warrior, and Wizard, where Wizard was my favorite, and that was due in large part to characters such as Gandalf. I always loved his wise words, such as,
Fool of a took. Throw yourself in next time and rid us of your stupidity.
and as a kid, magic was always awe-inspiring to me. Being able to throw fireballs around, or change your appearance magically, or other such things like that, go invisible, I just thought it was awesome. And if you saw my earlier rapid fire video, then you know that I said that Gandalf was a warlock and not a wizard. Well, I said that before I read this comment, which says Gandalf is still a wizard. He just went with the Bladesinger subclass. And after some light research, I now agree. To give you some background on who Gandalf is and why I went with this subclass, I'm gonna have to go into the lore. Oh, don't you start. I had to talk to my friend Max about this because the wiki I looked at was decidedly unhelpful, and I have described Max on camera on this channel as being J.R.R. Tolkien in a past life. So Max, if you're watching this, thanks for your help. You're the best friend a guy could get. Now, what I was able to figure out is that Gandalf is an angelic being called a Maya, and that he was tutored by a Valar, which is like an archangel or a minor deity. And Gandalf's class, for lack of a better word, in the Lord of the Rings canon, is what's called an Astari, which is just a fancy word that essentially means wizard. In the world of Middle-earth, everything that is was sung into existence by the Maya and the Valar, which actually includes Gandalf. And after everything was sung into existence, to make a very long story short, Gandalf and the other Astari were trained and sent to Middle-earth to fight the evil influence of Sauron, who is also a Maya. As stated previously, I originally thought that Gandalf was a warlock, and I do believe that could still be the case. But Gandalf being tutored by the Valar insinuates teaching and study, which is exactly a wizard's forte, so I'm now back on that bandwagon. And the significance of Gandalf helping sing the world into existence is what convinced me of the blade-singing subclass. Bladesingers master a tradition of wizardry that incorporates swordplay and dance. A bladesinger uses a set of intricate, elegant maneuvers to help fend off harm, and allows the bladesinger to channel magic into devastating attacks. Many who have observed one at work remember the display as one of the more beautiful experiences in their life. And when I read this, I immediately thought of this scene from the Battle of Minas Tirith.
This is no place for a hobbit!
Now, I understand this was probably done just to make the movie more interesting, but in the context of the movie, Gandalf likely wouldn't have done these moves one-off. Instead, and more likely, he was probably trained that way in his swordplay. Now, as for the singing that I mentioned earlier, Tasha calls Bladesingers, quote, wizard bards, and they also gain proficiency in the performance skill. The last thing I want to say to Bladesingers broadly, and Mithrandil specifically, is the Training in War and Song class feature, which says, in part, you gain proficiency in one type of one-handed weapon, and in Gandalf's case, it would be this sword. Now, in closing, Gandalf is a really deep character. He could easily be a warlock, a paladin, a sorcerer, or any combination thereof, so I'd love to hear what else you think he could be. I'd also love to hear more about the lore because I had a very quick explanation, and I know there's more to it, so let me know in the comments and tune in next time to Out of Initiative.